Hi friends, welcome to Fahuru TV. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Today we are with Dr. Gideon Yakume and we want to talk about overbreeding. When ladies we are now monthly period. What causes that and what do you do?
Thank you listeners, and as Ruth said, Karibu, welcome to Fahuru TV. Today we are going to talk about menorrhagia. That's the right name for overbleeding during the monthly cycles for ladies.
So, it's normal. What's normal and what's not normal? You want to know what's
not normal to overbreed, but as ladies we take it that it's normal, but it's not normal.
Yes, because sometimes you might find that ladies are bleeding, but as they grow up as children, nobody really tells them that when you have your monthly cycles, this is the amount that you should bleed. So sometimes they don't know whether they are overbleeding, whether it's normal, or whether there's an issue, because it's also having a stigma that talking about it is sort of a taboo.
It's the same.
So I think let's ask ourselves what's normal bleeding and what's abnormal bleeding.
Let's start with normal. How many days the normal ready, pray, or see your period, your monthly period? I think 3 days. Am I right?
Yeah, I think you are right. From the biological point of view, it's actually supposed to be an average of 3 days. But when you find that a lady is bleeding more than 3 days, up to a week or plus, that is classified as menorrhagia or overbleeding. There are also some other things that you can observe to know that you are overbleeding, such as when you bleed, when you have your periods, and then you change a pad more than 3 times a day. Or you put on a pad and within 1 hour, 2 hours, it's full, you have to rush to the bathroom to change it. So you are having a problem. And also sometimes you can have your periods, they call it irregular cycles. Within a week or 2 weeks, again you're back to square one, having again periods. So some ladies in a month, they can have 2 to 3 or 2.5 periods, which is not normal. So when you have a situation whereby you are changing your pads and it's heavily soaked all the time, changing pads more than 3 pads a day, you're having bleeding maybe twice or twice and a half in a month, those are signs of having menorrhagia.
I think it's mostly it goes undetected. I can ask this. I went to school with one lady. I don't know whether they are signs, they are symptoms. This is what used to happen during her period. She used to miss class 7 days every month, because the day she gets her period, she could not even stand up. She couldn't even faint in class.
Everybody will know about it.
So even the teachers would ask, "Oh, is so and so in her days?" And it was a girls' school, and
Well, that's one of the challenges we have, that most girls don't come out up front to say where they're having a problem because of being shy, and because of taking it as not a disease but something that some people can make fun of. In some other areas, as you said, girls don't even go to school. You can imagine in remote areas where girls don't have enough pads. And also let's remember this issue comes with a heavy cramping. That is one of the biggest challenge ladies have who are having menorrhagia, because your body is trying to squeeze out, the muscles are trying to squeeze, and then you end up having sometimes deadly cramping. That cannot make a girl or a lady to concentrate, to come to work or go to school.
So another question I have, is it normal to take a pain pill during that time of seeing your period. Because some people you have to take Tylenol, ibuprofen. If you don't take it, then you are in the pain 24 hours.
I think when you have situations, you need to seek medical help. Doctors can prescribe different prescriptions that can help you, of course ranging from pain pills, and also there's certain treatments that you can receive from the doctor that can help you. But first, I think we need to look at what is really the cause of menorrhagia. What really causes it? There are different, about 5 or so causes of menorrhagia. One is, first one is inheritance. If you find your parents or your grandparents used to have the same issue, it might also impact you or your children. The other thing is there are some health problems that can cause menorrhagia. For example, when you have hormonal imbalance, when girls grow up and they become to the age of adolescent, about 14 years there, they start experiencing their periods. So during that time, the hormones have not really balanced in the body. Sometimes the hormones give the body mixed signals. You know, when you go through your periods, your body is supposed to produce an ovary, ovulation. So when you are growing up and your body has not interpreted that when this happens, this is what I'm supposed to do, and that cycle misses, your body is sending wrong signals that I have not done what I'm supposed to do. So you find, especially girls who are 14, 15 years, they've started going through their cycles. They get to have 2-3 cycles in a month because the body is not giving, your hormones is not giving the body the right signals. Some of them can get actually periods and then skip 1 month, 2-3 months and then get it again, because still the body is trying to adjust to the change, the growth, and the hormones are trying to balance in your body. The other thing is there are certain conditions, like when a lady is having something called polyps, which can also cause overbleeding. And the other thing is when girls have a thick uterine, which becomes mucus-like and heavy during a menstrual cycle. So this condition makes girls to be bleeding all the time. I think also we have a situation where you might find that somebody is in fact pregnant and she's bleeding, and sometimes this lady, you don't know that you're pregnant because you are still on your periods, but then you are like, oh, I was in my periods, I didn't know 2-3 months ago that I was
5 months pregnant.
I was pregnant. So those are some of the causes that might cause menorrhagia. As I said, you might find polyps are small things, grain like that grow around your uterus, and sometimes they get abrasion, they break. And once they break this small growth, they have veins. So once they break, it means that the veins are broke. So there is continuous bleeding within the uterus. So when you have polyps, you are most likely to be having menorrhagia. There is also other growth conditions, some other things that can grow within your uterus. I think they call it what? The common growth inside the uterus. Fibroids, thank you. Fibroids is the same thing like polyps, but fibroids are a little bit bigger. They're even more worse. So when they break, especially when you have your periods and your uterine wall is weak, the muscles are weak, they are thick. So then when they break, you find that not only that you feel so painful, but you even bleed even more. And also, as I said, in some girls, you might find that there is a condition which has some breakages within the uterine wall. So that condition, I believe, it's called adenomyoids. So this small breaking of the uterine inside taps some blood. So when the uterine gets thick with the mucus, there is heavy bleeding. So I think those are some of the causes of menorrhagia. The last thing I might mention is that when girls or ladies do family planning, birth control, if you are using a birth control method or implant which does not align with your body hormones, it might be giving your body wrong signals that might trigger menorrhagia, bleeding. So as we are going to see, one of the solutions is to talk to your doctor, to your healthcare provider, to examine what kind of birth control mechanism are you using, what kind of implant are you using, whether it's affecting you and causing menorrhagia, and probably if it's the case, the doctor might change to oral contraceptives instead of the implants.
So, doctor, I have a question for you, and I'm sure a lot of people have this question out there. You know, some of them have been overbreeding all their life. You know, it's like normal for them. Will they go seek the doctor now, or just, you know, assume like, you know, for me it's normal because my parents were doing it. I even asked my mom, and I say, oh yeah, you know, in our family it happens.
My friend, that's what she used to say. My mom used to go do this, so it's hereditary. She felt that it was right for her to miss class 5 days in a week because her mom did the same.
Yeah. So do you still change it and go see the doctor, or leave it like it's normal? It goes, because you said it can go with the family, you know?
Yes. So that's a very good point, because this is abnormal. Menorrhagia is an abnormal condition, and also, as I mentioned, it's making ladies or girls to miss very important things like education, work, and all sorts of important things. So it's very important that you seek medical help. As I said, even though it's hereditary, or maybe it's caused by other primary factors like polyps and other healthcare conditions, those conditions can be treated. There are so many different ways that they can be treated. Also, I mentioned about the hormonal imbalance. So that also points to your question, Ruth, that this condition, can it be treated? The answer is yes. But we have to look at the root cause analysis, what's causing it, and also not make it as a stigma. That, oh, I have to hide, my parents used to go through this problem, so it's normal. No, it's not normal. So seeking for medical help, there are different ways that we can get treatment. Number one is to know how you are going to talk to your doctor, how you are going to explain to your doctor. Is it that you're changing parts so much? Is it that are you having excessive cramping, or what kind of symptoms are you presenting? In terms of treatment, the doctor might do some biopsy. The doctor can examine the kind of bleeding you're having and know whether this bleeding is coming from polyps or it's coming from the uterine wall, which is having issues, or it's coming from breaking of the other thing that you mentioned, the fibroids. So the doctor can take an x-ray or the doctor can do an ultrasound to get to know exactly where the bleeding is coming from. Is it a polyps? Is it fibroids? Or is it from the uterine wall which is having issues? Or is it hereditary? And remember, it's very dangerous. If you don't seek treatment, sometimes you can go anemic. And being anemic is very dangerous. Your immunity and things like that, because you're losing a lot of blood. So in treatment, the doctor might give you hormone, progesterone, or other hormones that the doctor can give you to create some balance within your body. So there is hormonal treatment, and also there is abrasion, where the doctor can go inside and then try to scale down the walls, the uterine walls, so that there is no formation of heavy blood. Also, they can also go inside and burn the sides of the uterine, so that the veins that are broken, that are bleeding, they can be abrased so that the cervix does not overbleed. They can also go in and do some surgical removal of the uterus, the fibroids, and things like that, and make sure that your uterus is clear of such things that cause heavy bleeding. So there's several types of treatment that the doctor can recommend, but it will depend on what's the primary cause of menorrhagia.
So on the same point, we have it's common with us ladies, whereby you find someone tells you, "Oh, I'm in my periods, I have so much discomfort." She doesn't talk about our bleeding. I have so much discomfort. So it's like, it's normal. And then you find out, that's one question, like, is that normal to have some discomfort? Then, how about the people who have the polyps and they don't have the signs? You don't have a bleed, but you have polyps. You go to the doctor, you have polyps. And then I know most people, like if you have fibroids, ladies, if you don't have a bleed, you assume everything is normal. Just for you to go to the doctor when you start over bleeding, it's spread out all over. You look pregnant in actual fact.
You find that it's way too late.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said that when you go to the doctor, first you must know your history. You must be able to know how did it all start. As you are growing up, 14, 15 years, you started having your cycles. Then what happened after that? There's some things that can cause even our personal lifestyle. There's some things that we can use, as ladies, maybe it's beautification. Some of ladies can even go to some surgeries. So we must know the history. So when you go to the doctor, you must know your history. How did it start? And also, once you tell the history to your doctor, the doctor must also examine you and know exactly where the problem is emanating from, where the problem is coming from. Whether it's fibroids, because as you said, somebody can have fibroids and still be okay. So it depends from person to person formation. How you are created is not the same way Ruth she's created. So we have different systems, and so the doctor will be able to use probably some technology like ultrasound, I said, to be able to look at inside and know exactly, is this bleeding coming from the fibroids? Is it coming from the polyps? Is it from the wall? Or where is it originating from? Or it's just bleeding? So then after the doctor knows that, then the doctor can be able to know exactly what to prescribe. For example, if it's a broken fibroid, I don't expect that this doctor is going to give you hormonal treatment. It's going to be a surgical treatment. But if it's an hormonal imbalance, your doctor is not going to do surgery on your fibroid. So it has to be known where the primary cause is coming from, and also health is also wealth, and the food we eat, even the food we eat can trigger this. So we have to know all this history to enable the doctor to make the right decision, to know the primary cause, and be able to prescribe or give you the right treatment.
So when this lady, there's like, as I mentioned, you have discomfort, just a little discomfort. Most of us say, oh, the first day, I just get it. Should you at that point go and get checked, just in case there's anything along the way coming up?
Oh, it's normal.
You know, sometimes in the developed world we use a scale of 1 to 10. You go to the hospital and then what's the scale of your pain? Sometimes, especially men from Africa, they can say, my scale is 1 when that man is dying.
Yeah.
Because in Africa we are
As a woman, you can say it's 8 while it's
when
2.
it's just a 2.
Oh, you know, the other thing that might happen is maybe I cannot just walk into a doctor, right? So today I'm in pain, and as I said, it's day 1. It's a lot. It goes down as it goes
Yes.
down. So if I get an appointment on the 3rd day when my periods are ending, so I'll be, what's your pain level? It's 0. Whereas it was 10.
Exactly. That's why we say that we must know the history. You must be able to know the history and even document and tell your doctor that when the day before my period, this is how I was feeling. The first day, this is how I was feeling. And then gradually to the last end, this is how I was feeling. Then the doctor can be able to know probably the root cause is this thing. And also the pain level. The doctor can be able to ask you different questions to ascertain clearly what is your pain level. I know, especially in the developed world, doctors have been trained to understand that people who come, especially from Africa, will tolerate pain so much, and how to probe questions, how to probe you to understand exactly what's your pain level. So the most important thing I may say is that number 1, it's a disease, don't shy away from it. Number 2, seek medical help. Number 3, when we know a friend or a family member who is having such a problem, let's encourage them. Let's not make fun of it. It's a problem. It can be your sister, it can be your mom. So let's encourage them, give them the comfort they need, and help them to seek medical treatment. So that's what I can say. And the last thing is, there is medical treatment. There is ways that ladies can get help by seeking healthcare treatment, and the doctors knowing the root cause of the problem and giving the right treatment.
So thank you so much for watching. Ladies who are overbreeding out there and you think it's normal, it's not normal. Even if it's been doing it for years, it's not normal. Please take the doctor advice so that you can avoid a lot of diseases on your body. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you for listening to us.